back at past films, a lot of what I see when I reflect is a mixture of my ignorance when using false colors and not pulling my subject out of the background to the degree that I would like. I'm not the most technical person when it comes to how I light. I understand everything in terms of lighting ratios and how to use a light meter on a very basic level, but a lot of it still really confuses me. I just know before when I light scenes, I normally light my entire scene pretty much exposing to the right so I can bring everything down in post for a cleaner image. But I do this without first making sure that my key is still strong enough to expose my actor, resulting in a too soft, too flat, too underexposed entire image. One thing that's been a good challenge is learning what ways I like utilizing the RE650 and 300 watt Fresnels. They are personally the most powerful lights I've ever owned, but this is also something that confuses me. Watts and how bright lights actually are. Does this 650 watt light actually emit 650 watts of light? I always thought numbers on specific lights equaled the power, like a 600D for example. But clearly in other videos I've seen, the 600D and the Forza 500 are definitely brighter than the 650 watt RE. I try not to worry about it too much and just get lights, use them in the scenarios I normally would, and make a decision on if it's powerful enough for my needs. These old school used RE lights, or really any old school tungsten fixture, price for power, it's a no-brainer for me. Another thing that I kind of started to feel guilty for after shooting my last short film, 4, was using tubes to key light my actors. It just didn't look right to have a soft tube key in some of these scenarios. Not only that, but I would just do it differently looking back now. That said, I won't stop using them at all. I was never one to use them as practicals too much anyway. The look is just kind of off-putting after using them as practicals. It gets boring quickly. My absolute favorite way to key light in this season is simply wrapping a Quasar Science 4-feet tube in unbleached muslin. I don't know why it works for my eyes, but it just does. It's almost like a soft pink. I wrapped it twice over and clipped them on my C-stand right here. So I guess it is essentially a 3 times diffused soft light with the coating on the actual light, and then I double wrapped in a decently thick unbleached muslin, full power on a dimmer. The unbleached muslin really helps warm up the image too, because these tubes are 5600 balanced, and it's just too blue without it. Having a few C-stands if you plan on purchasing these lights won't be a bad idea either. Really, when I first purchased these Quasars in 2018, I wish I would have invested in C-stands as well. And to any beginner that may happen to watch this video, get C-stands, invest in C-stands, because the different ways you can place lights and diffusion material and keep things sturdy on outdoor shoots. Like if this were a more complex dinner scene or something, I could cross key with 2 Quasars on boom extension arms right over the table and use this godsend we call black wrap to control where the light falls. Most videos say get stands. Trust me, these are more pricier than regular stands, but so what? Get some, or at least one. Camera, light, tripod, computer, C-stand. Starting 5. Definitely going to get a few more RE650 lights. I look at these frames and can't help to think I need more pockets of light. And if there were more actors, I'd also need to light for their coverage as well. It's also a scene not based on any other scene. I just start putting up lights and see where it takes me, so it's hard to really say what I'm going for, I guess, when I do these lighting tests. Scene recreation from films could probably be beneficial for that maybe. I have to keep reminding myself that I make most of the time lower budget indie projects. I'm not often lighting in ginormous spaces with lots of extras. Most of the places I light are on location and in houses. My personal package doesn't have to be extensive, and you don't need to over the power of the sun for every scene. If you need that, you can rent. If and when I have the opportunity to work on a project that's of higher caliber, I have to keep in mind the principles that I'm learning on this small scale will also work and translate on a larger scale. The techniques don't change, things just get bigger. Lights, diffusion, negative fill, as well as the help that I would hopefully have on set, making sure I don't screw up anything too badly. That's really all for this. Just more lighting tests in my house, a bit of a rant, a bit of reflection. I haven't done a voiceover in a while. I'm not one for talking heads, really. I'm always interested in you guys' opinion too, so if you can share your comments below on maybe your go-to key light or how you balance a scene, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, that's all for this. If you watch this, thank you. See you in the next one.